Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Barnes, constitutional lawyer, civil rights lawyer with one of the most successful records in the country, joins us. And we've been talking about the incredible usurpation of power, the legislative under the Democrats in the House becoming a government unto themselves. They already tried to put Mueller up there as this god. That failed. That whole operation was a crime. It's now come out. Now they're going even further. So what does President Trump need to do? Recapping some of what you already said, himself in the way he handles this, but also what do we do? What should the executive do proactively, not just in how we ourselves respond to being accused of being criminals, by this Inquisition, but how does the president go on the offense against this with all the crimes they've already committed? Because it's clear they're not suing for peace when they've been caught committing all these crimes. They're going for broke. So recap what you said. Very powerful, very historical, that this is cancer. The Democrats can't pass their gun confiscation. They can't pass their open borders. They're just doing it by fiat. And so at every level, it's just a total power grab. Break that down for us.
Sure. So the president needs to assert that this is one of the most dangerous and precarious threats to individual privacy in the history of this country. And while it is about him personally, the reality is the precedent that can be set by this case will endanger the privacy rights of every ordinary American, will make Congress a third party of the surveillance state, and allow any politician to become a peeping Tom politician and to spy on any citizen anywhere in the country that they happen to disagree with, using their congressional powers to do so, powers that the Constitution explicitly and expressly denied Congress in the first place. Secondly, the president needs to use the power of his public platform to both educate and inform and to motivate the American public to recognize how consequential this issue is. Judges and courts and everybody else pays attention to what's happening in the court of public opinion, and it is critically essential, as important it is to the courts of law, that the public opinion rally behind the president to recognize that whatever anyone even thinks of the president, this is the kind of invasion of privacy that is both unprecedented and unparalleled, and that cannot be permitted to take place in the United States if we are to have constitutional rights and liberties against the power of an invasive Congress. Third, the actions that need to be taken by the executive branch writ large is to continue to fight this fight in the courts, but also to examine opportunities it can have to put these politicians on the other side of the aisle. So, Leo, let's have, if it's going to be open season, then parts of the executive branch can examine whether or not they can do investigations into the Clinton Foundation, whether that should be reopened, whether they can do an investigation into the Biden corruption. And both parties and both sides can play at this. And the executive branch is the only one that has the constitutional authority to actually do so. So I think that the courts need to be put into the position where they recognize the errors of their ways, where they recognize this will not be applied just in a one-way fashion to favor just one side. And if they recognize that, hopefully they will then realize that they need to reassert the original constitutional rights and liberties that were always present, and this is the rights that were founded from the beginning of the country. Ordinary citizens do not get to have their personal thoughts, personal ideas, and personal records ransacked by prying, peeping Tom politicians.
I want you to elaborate on that, but just at an instinctive level as an American, as just a father, as a businessman, as a journalist, they've committed all these crimes, illegal spying, all of it, they've been caught. And then now they don't get in trouble and they start 20-something new investigations and are going to subpoena thousands of people and hundreds of Trump's companies to obviously harass the living hell out of him. What if Trump, because they say Trump doesn't even have the power to order the FBI to investigate people when he obviously does constitutionally. Imagine if he says, fine, I want 40 years of Pelosi and her whole mafia family. I want 40 years of all these other crazy people, like Maxine Waters and her husband getting tens of millions to his own private bank directly from her. Or if Trump says, okay, we're going to subpoena 30 years or 40 years of Obama's records, they would crap their pants, flip out, and run into the shadows. But instead, Trump is surrounded by all these lawyers and these FBI leaders that I think are working for the other side, and they just tell him to sit there like a sitting duck and take this crap. He has the constitutional authority to light their ass up. And so I say, let's go after Pelosi and Hillary and Obama and do exactly what they're doing to Trump. They'll put their tail between their legs and leave immediately and let America be great again. Why in the hell, then, is that not happening?
Exactly. For example, the president could do that publicly, independent of the executive power that he has.
He comes out and says what we just said. He said it's common sense. They just did it to me, and it's not even their jurisdiction. It's my jurisdiction, and now I'm coming for you. They have opened the frickin' door.
Oh, precisely. And what he could do is he could make an offer of settlement, that he will drop all challenges and contests to any subpoena that the Democratic Congress is issuing in exchange for all of the exact same records that they are subpoenaing from him of the same category and kind be disclosed by every Democratic member of Congress, by Congressman Amash up in Michigan, who wants to talk about impeachment. They can look at his Chinese financial ties, and by the last two Democratic presidents. Both President Obama, all of his sealed records that are still sealed, all get publicly disclosed, and President Clinton, including the Clinton Foundation, and every Democratic candidate for president. The state of California is trying to condition ballot access on various things they can't do constitutionally. Well, fine. Let's have everybody abide by the same standards. The Democrats in the House are saying we should have a uniform set of rules, that we need to have full transparency of public officials. And that's why we're doing all of this microscopic, macroscopic inquiry into private citizens' records. And that's why we're prying into private citizens' records from time periods that the president himself was a private citizen. Okay, fine. Let's have Pelosi do the same. Let's have every Democratic congressman do the same. Let's have every Democratic senator do the same. Let's have every Democratic candidate for the presidency, including Senator Joe Biden and his family members, Hunter Biden, do the same. And he should publicly offer that. And then the utility of it is, if they were sincere, if they were correct, they would take them up. But everybody knows there's zero chance they will do that. And consequently, it will expose them for the hypocrisy and the duplicity with which they are operating. It suggests that they are the ones that are operating in secret, hiding information. I mean, the President Trump is one of the only politicians in recent American history to get poorer by going into public office. All of these other politicians.
LBJ went from like $1 million to like $2 billion or something. Exactly. And it's insane. And he waived executive privilege on millions of emails, and no one ever did that.
Oh, precisely. Well, I mean, as you've experienced, Alex, the parties that when you voluntarily provide information, when you willingly provide information, when you help facilitate the providing of information, all you do is get attacked for it. I mean, the idea that Nancy Pelosi could be out yesterday talking about a cover-up when this has been the most transparent presidency in response to an illicit, unauthorized, unjust witch hunt in American political history is just absurd. But he can expose all of it. He can say, look, you guys claim that you want transparency for all public officials from their prior private conduct and anybody connected to them. I'll do that if you do that. You have all the Democratic
and it would be game over right then.
Precisely. None of them can do it. I mean, Joe Biden's family has gotten rich while he's in office. How did that happen? Nancy Pelosi got rich while she was in office. How did that happen? Dianne Feinstein got rich while she was in office. How did that happen? Kamala Harris got sweetheart book deals. How did that happen? Go through every Democratic politician who is President Obama hid all his college education.
And that goes back to the fact, we're going to break here, that they're the oldest party in the country. They've been getting away with everything forever. They're the one-party system in this country. The Republicans have just been these bitch-slapped little minions. And here comes this wild card Trump, and they don't know what to do. And you're absolutely right. They have opened the door for all of this.